Good morning. It is December 1st, 2023, as of this very moment. And that means the holiday season is basically in full swing, especially if you're retail focused like we are. And if you're a home coffee roaster, that also means that you are probably thinking about what coffees you are going to get either as gifts for yourself or for another home coffee roaster, or if you like roasting coffee to give as gifts or share during the busy holiday season, you're probably thinking about that too. So what we are going to be doing today is we are going to be talking about what we have here at Sweet Maria's that is either specific to the holiday or our coffees that we have brought in or are offering in certain sets that are sort of holiday focused. So Julia is going to start off by talking about the XL coffee sets that we have. We have one from Latin America and we have one from Africa. So Julia, what's going on with the XL Africa set?
So historically, we have offered the XL set because we know that people are often buying coffee to roast for friends to give as gifts, which is great. So we kind of wanted to have a set that's an approachable size, that's realistic to be able to get through in your home roaster. So we have these two 10-pound XL sets that this year are going to come with your choice of the half pound, a 10-pack of the either the half pound or the full pound Biotre bags for that you can gift to people. So that's really great. And so I wanted to go over the African set that we have. That first, it comes with two coffees, 5 pounds, 5 pounds each of the Ethiopia. The first one comes with the Ethiopia Uraga Gogogu. I have the wrong coffee right here. And this coffee is this is grown at some of the highest elevation that we purchased coffee from, topping off at around 2,300 meters above sea level. So that higher elevation usually slows the maturation of the fruit, creating a denser coffee that has higher potential for sweetness and acidity. We really love that. The Gogogu comes from 23 and higher in some places, and it comes from hundreds of different smallholders that have usually less than 1 hectare of coffee planted, and they deliver their harvest to a privately run washing station in Gogogu. This is a 92-point washed coffee with incredible fruit and bright citrus flavors. We really love that coffee.
Yeah. These are each come with it's 2 5-pound bags for 10 pounds total.
Yeah.
And the 5-pound bags I think are really great because if you have even a smaller roaster like an SR 540, you can still get through 5 pounds if you are sitting there and like roasting consistently and like taking good notes. So it's a great size for everybody. If you have a Beemore or something like a Bullet, you can really like tear through it.
Good point. The second coffee in the African set is the Tanzania, the Mbozi Ilomba. And this is a great coffee for any coffee lover in your life. It has very high tone flavors and it's super complex at any roast degree. And it's a screaming deal considering that it cups similarly to a Kenyan coffee. So it's kind of a sleeper hit as far as we're concerned.
Yeah, we've been brewing this one a lot in the warehouse here. If you've been following our social media, we're kind of comparing brewers, and this is the coffee we used because it really is kind of an interesting and good complex coffee, and it's something that everyone in the warehouse could really enjoy. And so we could really focus more on the brewers and less on do you like the coffee or not. So this is a really awesome coffee, and it's definitely been a sleeper. So we're really happy to be sending it out in 5 pounds. And as Julia mentioned, this is more approachably priced than a Kenyan coffee while offering a lot of the same characteristics. So it's really awesome that we're able to offer this, especially in this size and as part of the set.
Yeah, so that's the African set, and then we have a Latin American set that starts with the the Mexico organic offering, the Tenihapa Valle de Jovel. And this comes from many farmers that have around typically 2 hectares of coffee grown or less. And everyone is home processing their coffee, which means that they dry the coffee down to the parchment level before they take it to the mill for further processing. And that kind of processing in small batches actually leads to a wider range of profiles and helps bring complexity to the cup. And we have found that the community that we are buying from has a more structured acidity and mild, really mild cup when roasted light. So it's a very crowd pleasing coffee. And if you wanted to roast it darker, it has a lot more chocolate notes to it. So that sounds great.
And coffee from Mexico is not as well known as some Central and South American regions like, Colombia, but I really love coffee from Mexico. I had it for the first time only a few years ago. So if this is not a region that you have explored before, this is a great coffee to see what Mexican coffee is all about. So it's pretty cool that we're having this one as well.
The next coffee in the set is the Nicaragua Ayacopio Sayutal, which we are very familiar with because it's in the cacao set. So we love this coffee. We have been offering it for a while now, and this coffee it goes down to, there's a mill called the Buenos Aires mill, which is kind of a state-of-the-art mill down there. So the dry milling from there, wet processed coffees coming out of there they're more consistent and uniform in color and bean size because of their state-of-the-art all of the machinery that they have there. And so that makes this coffee particularly easy to handle in the roaster in terms of roasting evenly and the ability to judge the roast color. So this is a really great and easy coffee if you want to. This is a great coffee, easy to roast at home, and you can't go wrong with any roast level. It has great sweetness and acidity and chocolate characteristics, cinnamon, cocoa powder. So it's just a really,
as you can probably
coffee.
guess from the fact that it's also part of the
chocolate and cacao set.
The coffee and cacao exploration set, which we've talked about previously. Really good chocolate notes, and especially if you are roasting coffee for the holidays, for people that maybe aren't looking for something that's super bright and acidic, that is going to be a real crowd pleaser. And just has really good, cold weather vibes. When it gets cold, I like coffee that is chocolatey. Like let's just keep it simple, So
those are the 2 XL sets. Again, they come with little bags for you to be able to give them to anyone.
And the idea behind the offering them with the bags is that we know people are going to be roasting and packaging to share with people. Yeah. So that's kind of the idea here. And when you buy the whole set, rather than buying all of these components individually, you save a couple bucks. So you got that going for you as well. So when you're roasting all of these things, you are basically doing a small production run. That's how we were thinking of it. And so a lot of people may have all the accessories that they need to do a small production run. But if you're new to home roasting, or if you are just starting to get the most out of especially an air roaster, you might not have some things. So we are offering a kit. It is called the Roaster Production Kit. It includes 3 things. One of them is something that we recommend more and more and more all the time because we find it so useful. If you have an air popper, even if you have a Biotre, really any electric roaster, and that is a watt meter. We've been using several watt meters for a while, and we really like watt meters because if you're using something like Poppo as a coffee roaster that doesn't have a temperature probe already part of it, you can really use it to track your inputs, which is really useful. And even if you have something like a Biotre or a fresh roast, which does give you a temperature reading, it's still good to know that you're plugged into an outlet that is giving you full power. We have a lot of people who contact us all the time who are just telling us, hey, I am using a Gene Cafe and it's not getting enough. I'm not building enough energy into my coffee. And we end up talking about their home electrical system. This ends up being really the solution most of the time. And people plug it in and realize, oh, my outlet wasn't giving me full power. So that's why I was having problems. The other thing that comes with this is more Biotre bags. I really love using these. They've got a zip seal. They're super duper compostable because they're Biotre 3.0, which you can't get from very many places besides us at the moment. And they're really easy to seal up. You put the coffee in, use an iron, boom. And we have a video on that in our library about how to seal these up as well. And the last thing, and lots of people probably already have this, but this kit is definitely directed at people that are more in the beginner to intermediate range, or maybe producing a bunch of coffee for the holidays for the first time. A scale. You really can't go wrong with a scale. This is a nice basic scale that we offer. It's the one we use downstairs in the roasting lab. I used it to roast some coffee for myself yesterday. It's just great to track your inputs so you can be really consistent, and also your outputs so you can measure your weight loss and everything like that. And yeah, consistency. That's the word I was looking for. When you're doing a small production run at home, being consistent, especially with an air roaster that doesn't have software like a Bullet or like a Hot Top, can be challenging. So scale, watt meter, those are going to get you that consistency you're looking for. This is a nice little kit.
Yeah, and then I just wanted to kind of go over some. We have some deals on coffees right now. We have some awesome coffees for under $6. So we have two coffees in particular. We have an Ethiopia and a Burundi. So I wanted to go over those to start. They're 1 pound. And first we have the Ethiopia dry process, the Senecata Mountain. And reading up on this coffee, it's actually super interesting to me. It is located in a forest preserve in Limu, and this is the only coffee farm in this remote forest area. And the government actually gave land grants to people that they thought could be good stewards of the land, and while maintaining the forest habitat, which is very important. And so the Senecata Mountain is a 130 hectare farm, but only about 110 hectares are under production. And it's considered semi-forest since it's not wild coffee, but it still grows beneath the preserved forest canopy overhead, which is very cool. The mill for this coffee is at about 2,300 meters. And because of that, the coffee comes in a little later than some of our other Ethiopia options. But they are also providing coffee plants to local smallholders and farmers, and they're hoping to start a farmers association on the next harvest. So more on that hopefully later. That's super cool of them to do. So this this dry process is super fruited peach, strawberry, honeydew, all the things that you could want from a dry process, Ethiopia. And then the second coffee is the Burundi, the Kaizano Kabingo Station. This is a coffee that is near and dear to my heart. I have it at home right now. I absolutely love this coffee. I've been brewing it at home for a couple of weeks now in a pour over. It's great. I absolutely love it. And this is a dry process coffee. It has a ton of fruit. Kabingo is named after the reeds that grow around the mill that help stop erosion of the soil into the mill, which is cute. This coffee got first place in the Burundi Cup of Excellence a couple of years ago, which is no small feat, and it still definitely tastes award-winning to me. So and
someone in the chat is asking, hey, I like coffee that is more lightly roasted, and my family likes coffee that is more darkly roasted. These low cost coffees, this is what you're looking for. You can get a little 1-pounder for yourself. You roast it up. You have it for yourself. And then you can go dark for your family with something that's like a little bit more accessible with maybe some chocolate and roasted nut tones. That's kind of the advice that Dan gave as well. And just speaking as somebody coming from a like coffee service retail background, to get people onto lighter coffees, you have to give them an easy onboard. So medium, roasting, like full city, a coffee that is like chocolatey and nutty, maybe like some of the coffees that come in the 10-pound Latin America XL set. That's going to be an easier onboard than some of these coffees that we just described. And also a good coffee, even though it's for espresso, is going to be the one that Julie's going to talk about right now, which is the Polar Espresso.
Yeah, Polar Espresso.
Or Expresso, pardon me.
Polar Expresso. This is our take on a seasonal blend. This is our 7th year doing a holiday blend. I've been packing orders this week, and it is flying off the shelf. So most people know about it and love it and wait for it. We got lots of inquiries about it before it came out. People were waiting for it. So this is, the 7th year for this. And this is kind of a more fruited approach, like a more fruited, like it's a twist on our classic chocolatey toned espresso. So it has a little more fruit notes. It has a wet process Central American and then 2 dry process African coffees, but great creamy body in an espresso. Again, very crowd pleasing. And I found a little fact. It was originally called Espresso Toe, which I wish we had kept that name because, but I think Polar Expresso does a really good job of, it's great marketing and people love it. And
maybe Dan, who's in the chat, can jump in, but although this is called Polar Espresso and the concept is kind of for people with espresso machines, I have brewed some of this just as a regular pour over or even in a coffee brewer, and it's great. There's nothing about it that makes it only appropriate for an espresso machine. I think this is just a great holiday blend that kind of pairs a lower toned coffee with a higher toned coffee. I think it's going to be a real crowd pleaser. As Julia says, it's flying off the shelves. People at the beginning of November, people were emailing us asking like when it is coming. So it's a great coffee. And these, along with the Polar Espresso, along with the 2 low-cost coffees, are just really great holiday options that are also going to be, limited time. So if you're watching this in February 2024, sorry. And another option, especially if you're watching this and you're the home coffee roaster and you're thinking like, I want to give people coffee things, they know that's what I'm about, they kind of expect that from me, what are some of my other options? We are offering again this year what we're calling the roasted coffee stocking stuffer. We did sell it last year and it was pretty popular, and it's actually hanging up right behind us. It doesn't come with this stocking. You have to provide your own in that regard. But what it's going to be is it's going to be 2 roasted coffees. Half pounds. And so it'll look like this. And what it's going to be is packaged in a Sweet Maria's little drawstring bag like this. And it'll have the coffee information on the bag, although this is not because it's just a prop. But, it'll look cute. You can just throw it in the stocking. It's going to have a nice presentation. Any order with these is not going to ship right away, though. These coffees are being roasted and in mid-December, and they're shipping on December 14th. So they should arrive just in time to give as gifts. But if you're traveling or something like that, make sure it's shipped to where you're going. If you ship it home, it might arrive while you're on a plane somewhere else. But these are just really great roasted coffee gifts, which are going to be really fun. And the two coffees that it's going to be a half pound of Ethiopia dry process Sadama Shantawene. We're actually drinking that right now this morning, sort of coincidentally. It's great. Can't recommend it more. And the other one is going to be Guatemala Shinabajul Los Chochitos. So again, you can kind of see this theme throughout all the coffees that we're offering for the holiday season, which is that we're offering a sort of either a natural or a more high noted coffee set, along with a lower toned, more approachable set that's carrying through here. But these are going to be really fun gifts. They are limited, so if you are interested, check out the website sooner rather than later. And also just a reminder, they won't ship until mid-month because it's got to be fresh roasted. And then the last thing is another roasted coffee set, which is going to include roasted coffee as well as a brewer to get somebody started. Maybe somebody that you know was like, hey, this is pretty cool, but I don't know where to begin. So this is another, because it has roasted coffee, again, it's not going to ship until the 14th of the month. But what it comes with is it's going to come with 1 pound of the Guatemala Zinabajul Los Torchitos. And I guess I didn't really talk too much about that coffee, but it's got brown sugars, cocoa, almond, toasted marshmallow. It's a nice bittersweet coffee, very approachable, especially for maybe people who are used to more dark roasts that you want to onboard to something that is a little bit more in your style. And that will come with a bigger bag of coffee so that you have lots of options to brew it. It's going to come with this new low-cost brewer that we sourced. It's a glass brewer with a glass carafe, and the collar is removable. It's made of bamboo. It holds Hario V60 filters, which also come in the kit, and they have new packaging. They've gone from the pink to the green. So if you see these are the same pink ones that you've always known and loved. They're just they got rid of the pink. I don't know why. But this is another great gift option for you if you're looking for something to give to somebody who is maybe still just in the beginning stages of their coffee journey and needs a brewer and needs the coffee.
Do you want to do the Poppo or Enzo?
Yeah. And another gift idea for people, and this is a brand new product. It's like 36 hours old, so you may hopefully it doesn't come out of left field. But we have a new air roaster called Poppo.
Yeah.
It comes in this. This is how it looks when it arrives. And it is an air popcorn popper.
Yes.
And this is something that this is manufactured by us. It's something that Tom, we don't, build it ourselves, but we sourced it. And it's something that Tom has been working on and designing and trying to find the right machine. And it is a popcorn popper. But what makes it special is this other piece that Tom designed, which is an insert for the Poppo, and it has a little angled bar on the inside. It drops right into the Poppo, and that does a couple of things. It keeps the coffee beans from flying out. It helps circulate the air better, which means that you can roast up to a 1/4 pound in this popcorn popper, which is a lot more than you can normally do in a small basic popcorn popper. And the last thing is that, and this is especially good for, we've had a couple of comments about people like dark roasted coffee. This roasts dark and it roasts fast. And this is available as a kit right now and includes the roaster itself, the Poppo sleeve, and it also includes 4 half-pound green coffees samplers. If you choose them, you can also exclude them. But if you go all in, you get the roaster and the sleeve, which you always get, as well as the coffees. It comes in at around $40. So for people that maybe who have said, this home coffee roasting seems pretty cool, but it kind of seems like a big barrier to get in. This is a low barrier to get in.
Great
and is a cool
entry level roaster, low cost entry level roaster for those who are interested.
So we're going to be talking about this a lot more. Again, this has only been on the website for just a second. Truly,
Tom was actually packaging them and shipping them out.
Yeah, the first ones yesterday.
Yeah, the first orders.
So we'll be talking about this a lot more. This is a really exciting product for us.
Get in on the ground floor.
Yeah, but if you want to get on the ground floor or need a great roaster that roasts stark and fast, this is a great option.
We wanted to mention some other stocking stuffer ideas that we have lying around the warehouse. We have this nice warm cap, knit cap you can see.
This cap is seriously warm. I was going to wear it during the whole thing, but my head started getting too hot, so I had to take it off. But it's a really cool cap. It says Sweet Maria's. Tom is always wearing his. He can really pull it off. I don't quite have the style. But we have these on the website. They're really nice. It's a really nice knit cap.
Yeah.
We also have all sorts of Japanese mugs on the website. I am a birder. I love birds. And this is a Japanese mug that has birds on it. We have all sorts of other Japanese mugs that Tom sources. A lot of them have cats and dogs. A lot of them are animal themed.
Yes.
But if you check out the Brewers section of our website, there's a subcategory that's called like cups. They're all there. So check them out.
And we have our Dogs of Coffee calendar for 2024. This is all in Indonesian this time. So we have it's from Tom's travels in Indonesia. So this is been going on for many years now, and I actually found the 2016 calendar that I had submitted photos of my dog in, which is very cute. They had an open call for dogs, and I was able to submit my little pup in there. So here it is, my cute little dog in the 2016. So this has been going on for a long time. So if you are a fan of the Dogs of Coffee, this is the Indonesian. And I also wanted to show our lapel pins that we have because I think that they're a great little stocking stuffer. These are a couple. This is the Sini cup that is, you see these all over Ethiopia. This is how everyone drinks coffee. I think the idea behind these is we also offer these. We sell these in a set of 6. And the smaller thin walled porcelain, I think the idea is that you pour from a larger carafe and you are seated with lots of friends and family. So you're drinking a lot of cups, like in small increments. But you'll see these all over, very traditional in Ethiopia. So we have a very cute enamel pin that is in the same style. And then I also wanted to show the original Poppo, the original
Poppery too.
Poppery. This is the original popcorn popper that was developed in the 70s. So it's all beige and yellow, and we have this as an homage. Tom said he used to find these for like $2, and now they're going on eBay for $70, $80. So this is just kind of a cute little lapel pin commemorating the original popcorn popper.
And the last thing I want to talk about is timers. If you are buying,
you can never have too many.
If you are buying, need a small gift for
coffee lovers,
somebody who is a home coffee roaster or a coffee lover or a coffee brewer. Obviously, most everybody has a smartphone these days, or even if you don't, even if you have a cool, awesome Nokia brick that still lives to this day, it probably has a timer in it. So we always have timers, but having a physical timer is just so much easier to use. It doesn't turn off. It doesn't require Face ID. So we have a bunch of timers. We have from very basic, which is just, hey, start, stop, add time, remove time. That's all this one does. We've got one with bigger numbers, which is also great because you can see it from across the room if you're trying to do 2 things at once. And we also have a cool Taylor timer that this thing has like 15 buttons on it because it has like 4 timers. So you could be roasting a coffee and brewing a coffee. And if you're like really going all out and your house has a great power supply, roasting another coffee on the other side of the room and have all the timers going, it's great. But watch your roasts.
Don't walk away from your roast.
But timers, they're great. You can never have enough of them. They're all over our building. Basically, any room you walk in has like 2 timers in it. So obviously these sort of more gifty idea things, they'll be available on Sweet Maria's even after the holidays, whereas a lot of the coffees will either sell out, or in the case of the roasted coffee options that we talked about, we're going to roast them and that's it. They're done. But we just wanted to highlight some smaller things that maybe would make good stocking stuffers or small gifts or round your order out that we think are fun.
Check the this and that section drop down in our extras page. And it looks like Dan is dropping links to everything that we are talking about here in the chat. So if you're interested in anything, you can go directly there. I think he's answering all the questions and everything.
Dan's answering all the questions. Yeah. So hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully it gave you a better understanding of the coffees that we have sort of put together specifically for the holidays. Of course, we always have anywhere around 70 to 80 other coffees available year round. So if these didn't seem interesting, you could always get what you'd like ad hoc. But hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully if you're a home coffee roaster, this gave you some ideas of what you might like to get so you can roast up and give as gifts. And if you're watching this thinking of what to get a home coffee roaster, maybe this gave you some ideas as well. But I think that's it for me. You got anything else?
I think that's it.
All right. We're at a half hour. We nailed it. We'll see you all soon. We hope you have a great few weeks.
Now I'm ready to do it now.